a Soulection classic right here, white label.
Man.
This was over 3 years ago. This was like March 2016. So much has changed since that point, right?
Like, this track was like the one that kind of changed my life almost, man. I was like 19 when I did this. So
that's crazy.
It's wild, man.
Yo, this is the first time you're on Soulection Radio properly. Like, obviously I've been playing your music for a long time. I think for me, the reason why I had to come here physically and set up all these sessions, is because to do this, because the times you've been in LA, I've just kind of been either on tour or on the move. And to me, I'm just really about timing, and I think the timing couldn't have been better,
Definitely, yeah.
So, for those who don't know, we got Rom, also known as Romderful, representing Birmingham, UK. What's up?
Yes, sir.
Hey,
I'm
man.
good, man. How are you?
Couldn't be happier, man. We got the whole squad here too, 2 days in a row, and there's so much talent in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all my brothers, all my sisters. Yeah. Everyone's killing it right now.
Yeah, there's a great balance in here, and I've also met a few people I've never met before, so I almost feel like this is our own little our own meetup, our own version of Red Bull Music Academy, our own version, our own incubator, and that's why I just wanted to bring all these forward thinkers together. You're very talented, as you can tell. I could hear your to think about this song and where you're at now, and to hear the progression, it's wild. Now you're producing for other artists. When I heard the joint by John Doe and featuring Kaylani, like, that shit woke me up. I was like, damn, I know this guy has so much heat in store, and that could have easily been on your album.
Yeah, it could have been actually, but I mean, I'm happy it ended up where it was, because if I'd kept that beat for myself, it would have never reached the John Doe and Kalani, which is like, whoa, okay. So yeah, it's a pretty good credit to have on my list as well. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, 100%. So what have you been up to? You obviously just put out an album, right? Yeah. And from that point, I feel like it's just really great to see that progress, because now you're actually working with vocalists. You're working with artists. It's not just instrumentals. Yeah. And I thought you set the tone on the white label. You had people like Emma V, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Emma V. We try to get her here, but she's currently in Canada.
Emma V is literally God. She's godly to me, man. Like, I've sent her so many beats, and she will just never ever fail to just bring the most incredible thing I've ever heard every time. And she'll just be like, yeah, I did this last night when I was sitting on my chair in the Snuggie, and I wrote it while I was like falling asleep, and I'm like, yeah, it's the best song I ever heard. Yeah, like, Emma V is just incredible.
She on the vocals, on the production. She's a crazy producer.
Yeah, I always be like, you don't need me anymore. You can do everything yourself. You don't need me. But yeah,
and it's just dope because you both also are inspired by that Neptune sound, and that's something that's really close to here as well.
Me too.
Yeah. So the album Press Out or Continue. Let's talk about that. What does the album mean to you, and how much time went behind that?
This album was like a really long journey. I actually started in 2016. Life was a bit different. Like, I just obviously done the white label. I started to tour, so I went to Asia for the first time, went to Tokyo and Korea, and I was like, okay, my music career is actually moving forward. This is really working for me. Having prior dropped out to university after my first year. And then it was almost like life went downhill from 2016.
When you dropped out?
I'd say like 4 or 5 months after the white label, and I felt like I almost felt like I wanted to quit music. I just felt like maybe I'm not doing good enough. Maybe this wasn't for me. Maybe my songs aren't good enough.
But why?
I guess there was just a lot going on in my life. Like, at the time, I wasn't in like a good relationship. My household wasn't in the best place. Obviously, my mom and dad were going through a lot of issues at home. I was really broke because I never had a job. I could never get one. So I was kind of relying on music full time for everything. And like, all the pressures of everything just started to kind of get to me. And it like this is what the album means. Like, Press Out to Continue is more like, I really had to like take in those L's and like really focus on them, and really just know that like, if I never continue forward from these L's, if I just stay looking back, I'm never going to continue. I'm never going to move forward if I just don't like, this happened, how can I move forward from it, and stop saying why and more how can I fix the situation. So this album went through 6 different versions, just because the first 2 actually lost when I had the hard drive and the computer broken, and I had to restart it again in 2017. And then this is the first album I also decided to start doing vocals on myself as well. So it's not just vocalist, but I decided to start writing my own songs, start producing, obviously, start taking more part of the song than just making the beat and sending it to people. I want to meet people, I want to be in the studio.
I've been hearing that so much. It's like you got to be in sessions with these artists.
Yeah.
Especially as a producer, it's so hard to get them to lock in on a beat.
Exactly.
A lot of artists as well don't want to just receive beats and work through.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, so you got to be face to face. And
personality is huge for me. You can't get personality over email.
At what point for you did you start feeling confident enough to start singing? Because I started noticing that you started using your vocals a lot.
I guess I dropped a track called Takeoff like at the end of 2017, and I was like, okay, I'll just put my vocals on this track. I might delete it because I thought it was going to get a really bad reception, and then it turned out to be one of the best songs I uploaded that year, and everyone was like, what the hell, Rom can sing, why didn't you start doing that?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, you learnt too much from MV. I was like, I couldn't hear those harmonies, and I was kind of like, well, that's what happens when you work with MV so much.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point I was like, okay, let me just try it again so people know, like, just, I wasn't sure people were tripping, and I made one good song. It's gonna be trash.
Yeah.
So I did another one. Everyone was like, yo, this is amazing. Then I started to do like 3 or 4 more on my album, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should just do this now. And it's also kind of like, I didn't want to just wait around for placements all the time to validate myself. I didn't want everyone to be like, oh, you have to work with this person for your beats to be good. It's like, why can't I just write my own songs, be my own artist, and be amazing at it? And I felt like that was just a massive progression from just doing edits and remixes and stuff, which were really helpful, and it was one of the best parts of my career, but I can't stay there forever.
No, of course.
So I'm really happy that
when I think about your sound though, I think original music. I don't even think edits.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. You're about to drop a set right now. What can we expect? And you didn't play a bunch of unreleased music, a bunch of originals.
This set is literally like 90% unreleased. It's stuff that I was about to put on my album, I didn't. It's stuff that I've been making up until this month. It's little demos and sketches. There's some songs from my album that have come out. It's mostly unreleased stuff, which may or may never come out. So this will be the first time and maybe the last time you'll ever hear it. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. Once again, we got Romderful, Soulection, Birmingham's finest. Make sure you keep it locked. He's about to get into his mix right now.
Chee.
Live and direct right now from London, Beats One, Soulection. We got Romderful in the building. Yo, let's talk about your guitar playing, man, because it's really been like advancing,
Yeah.
And I can really hear it. And I think that's what separates your music is hearing you on that guitar. How long have you been playing that? And just how are you feeling about just your whole live set and where that's going?
I've been playing guitar on and off since I was 6. So 6 was the first time I ever picked it up. Damn. And then I was just like, I got really serious about it when I was around 12. And ever since then, I've just been going hammer every day. Obviously knowing that I was a musician first before I started producing, before I started making beats. So obviously I play guitar, bass, I play drums, I play vocals. I used to play violin at one point, but I stopped, and I also play keys to a very basic level.
Wow.
So it's like after watching FKJ and like people like Haywire and stuff, and like, seeing them like bring their keyboards and their guitars on tour, and basically just live loop or play parts of the songs, had instrumentation on it live, I was like, why am I not doing that? So why am I not using my full potential? It's like, I was never meant to be a DJ. There are people out there like yourself, like Jared Jackson, you guys are real DJs. I've
heard your sets though, but you're a DJ too, man.
I'd say like DJing's my thing, but I'm a great selector. But like, I was a musician first. I'm always a musician at heart, and I think that's the side I should be showing more so than DJing, because that's not where my heart lies.
Of course.
So
I respect that. But I wouldn't put it too much aside. Like, I still think that element is aside. You have a great ear outside of just your music. I still think there's places and there's a time to still DJ. I'm not gonna stop DJing. I love DJing, but more just like I want to put the focus in the right areas. Got you. Okay. So when can we expect you to really like break through with this live set properly?
I'd say so. I'm gonna start doing some like I've done some small tester ones. So I did one in LA obviously last year at the Echoplex. I did a tester show. I did a tester run in China last year as well, which was just 3 cities. So I did Shanghai, Chengdu, and Kunming, and those went really, really well. Then I did a test live set in Jakarta. So after like seeing how the response of that was, I was like, okay, I really need to like start breaking through that now. So basically like just planning out that for the next 2 months. Then I'm going to start like a small tour run in September of just 5 or 6 cities in Europe, and then November 5 or 6 cities in Asia. I'm going to start at like really, really small, really getting used to it. Cause I want to do segments where I'm like, I'm improvising completely. Like I'm going to put on the drum loop, and every night it's going to be something different.
Wow.
So I really, really want to go hard with this. I want to push myself. I want to feel that fear again of performing. I want to go on stage and be like, my heart's beating because I don't know what I'm going to do. And I just love that feeling.
That's amazing.
Even if I mess up or whatever, that's just like the way it is. Like, I think that's the best part of being a musician. You can make the best things out of mistakes or things that don't seem right, whatever. So,
And what about artist-wise? Who are you in sessions with right now? Who are you creating with?
So obviously I just come off producing a track for Duckworth projects that just came out. So I produced King on that. Obviously I've been working.
Oh, you
with
made that song?
Yeah, I made
like
that.
I fuck with that song.
Thank you, man.
Oh, that's like one of my favorite songs from that project. I didn't know you produced it.
So fun fact about
you
that
know
song,
what? Actually, your name's on that joint. Actually, now that I think about it, isn't it?
I don't think it is.
No,
I'm not
on
sure.
the credits.
Oh, it's on the credits. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like as a feature.
Yeah.
So there's been the Duckworth song. There has been me producing for Dean, obviously, which is my career homie, and he's like popping off right now. He's killing it. Who else have I been producing for? There's been so many over the past. I had a session with Music Soul Child in February.
Really?
And
that's one of your influences too.
Yeah, I almost like 10 minutes before he pulled up and his manager's like, yeah, we're on the way. I was literally sitting there like, how am I going to speak? How am I going to compose myself? I don't know what I'm going to do.
So how did you speak when he pulled up?
Well, he was super chill. He was just like, oh, you got a Nintendo Switch? Because I had my Nintendo on the table. And he was kind of like, yeah, man, I completed Zelda in 3 months. And we were just talking about Nintendo and love for like 2 hours. And I was like, this is the coolest guy ever. And then he was like, yo, show me how to use FL Studio. Because he likes to record these vocals himself. So I was showing him how to use FL Studio for like 30, 40 minutes. He wrote one of like the most beautiful demos in like 10 minutes, got in the booth and did it. I was like, I'm really in the studio Music Soul Child right now. He's really recording to one of my beats. And ever since that day, I was like, yo, I can really actually make this happen. And I really, really want to try and get to Tyler, the Creator and Pharrell in the next year or two. That's like a major goal for me.
Yeah, I think that's possible, man.
I mean, after that, like how things have been going over the past year, I'm not doubting it anymore, but I know I need to put in a lot more work to get to their level. But I'm really, really happy with like the progression. I'm really happy that like obviously Soulection was like a massive part of why that started. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, I'm really, really happy.
Man, I'm really
that.
happy that we made this happen. And
yeah,
that, like real, I said, bro, it's regardless of I think we all need time to be independent at certain times to kind of develop, you know. Sometimes we just need to step away to grow and then you come back to the center.
100%.
That's kind of pretty much how I see it, man. And that's why I've been watching, I watch everything, I listen to everything. And so I feel like you're just getting started. I feel like you're refining yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel like now you're intact and you're still young. So you have a whole life ahead of you as long as you just still, you stay, consistent and you just stay true to your sound and just remain humble. I mean, there's no stopping it, So yeah, I'm glad that we made this happen. This is just the beginning. Want to get that official initiation outside of the white label. You're one of the few that we've brought on that's done a white label. We have the white label on pause right now because we're restructuring, we're reformatting ourselves right now. And I feel the SoundCloud world has shifted. It's not it's not what it once was.
Yeah.
You can't just drop, before you could just post something.
Yeah.
It'll get 100,000 plays.
Yeah, like a day.
And you can announce a whole tour off of that. It don't work like that anymore. So now people have to challenge themselves on how do you stand out. So what you're doing right now with the live set and working with these artists, I think that's gonna just keep elevating you. So just keep at it. And let's get back to this music, man. I'm curious to hear more beats from you and more exclusives.
Oh yeah, man.
All right. Any last words you want to say?
Yeah, man. Follow me on Instagram. I'm Romderful, ROMDERFUL. That's gonna be the same on everything, by the way. Instagram, Twitter, Weibo if you're Chinese. Same for all of them. Shout out IKEA. My friends are amazing. My girlfriend makes these IKEA bum bags. They're sick. Quick plug at Linda Reg. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, peace.